Hi guys, if you're new to my channel, my name is Ohemaa. Welcome. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for clicking to watch this video. Okay. For today's video, I am doing a matte orange eye look with a gold inner corner. Okay, like I wanted to do like a pink blend to orange blend to yellow, but then I saw the orange and I thought, you know what, let me just try to match my dress. My dress looks a little bit more peachy in person than actually does on camera, but you know what, I actually like pairing both of them because I think they look kind of good together. Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys how to do this eyeshadow look. If you want to see what products I use to achieve this look, then keep on watching.
Rack it up, I got a bit of the bank to make me a safe house. Shake it up, she got her hands on her knees.
Today's video, I wanted to do a simple, bold statement eye look. Okay, too often we've heard that dark skinned people shouldn't wear bright colors, but you know, once you start wearing color or bright colors as a dark skinned person, you realize that these colors and these shades, you know, these shades were made for us to, like, we can also wear a neon eye look or, you know, a super bright eye look and it still looks good. Okay, so let's go ahead and see how this look comes out, and then you can tell me at the end of this video in the comments if you think that dark skinned people should or shouldn't wear bright colors. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into it. This is actually me day 5 after I did my micro shading, and my brows had peeled off and they were shiny because they were still like not healed. It was raw. It was actually it was hurting a little. Okay, maybe it was hurting, okay? But I had to still go ahead and cover my brows. That way it wouldn't look so gray and so shiny. So I covered it up with the Fenty Beauty Brow MVP in the shade Deep Black. And I'm using the e.l.f. Cosmetics 16-hour Camo Concealer, the matte one. I'm using the shade Rich Cocoa and using that to clean up my brows. I always use that to clean up the lower parts of my brow and also the top of my brow because I like the shade and I like how it looks on my skin. So usually after I prep my brow area, I go in with an eyeshadow primer and I apply that directly on my eyelids. And I like to blend it in with my finger. I use eyeshadow primers because it keeps the oils on my eyelids at bay, and it also helps my eyeshadow base grab on really nicely and actually lasts like as long as I want my eyeshadow to stay on. Then I'm going in with my ABH Eyeshadow Primer. It's white, it blends really nicely, but it does get, I want to say not tacky, like it dries down really quickly. It dries down really quickly, so you have to move, okay? Today I'll be using Juvia's Place Zulu palette, and I haven't used Zulu in a while, so I decided to go ahead and use this. And I literally used the 2 shades that I'm showing you. I used the orange shade and the yellow shade, and that was it. I wasn't going to use any more shades. The only problem with this video is that whenever I was applying my eyeshadow, that video got corrupt, so I wasn't actually able to show you guys from beginning to end. But all I did was apply the orange eyeshadow all over my eyelids, and then I'm going in right now with the yellow shade and I'm using that to blend the outsides of it so it's not like orange. You can still see some yellow at the edges of it, so that's why I use the yellow, just to blend out the edges. Okay, so I have actually been using the Tatcha liquid silk canvas since it came out. I'm trying to get a feel for it before I do a video on it for you guys to tell you if it's oily skin approved or not. So today I'm actually using that same primer on my face, and you guys know I do not skimp on primer. I make sure I have enough primer on my skin to cover my skin, and I know and I can be confident that my foundation or my base is actually sitting on primer and not just like sitting on my bare skin. Okay, so this is what that looks like after it's blended in. And I'm using Juvia's Place I Am Magic foundation. This is the shade 120 Chad, and I always have to measure how much I'm putting. I always use a little bit because if I use a little bit more than what I just showed you, the shades become crazy because I use too much, and I don't like that. So I'd like to use a small amount. So this is how easily it blended out, and this is what the coverage looks like with just the small amount I use. So you can tell that it is actually a really full coverage foundation, and you only need a little bit. Okay, so next I'm going in with the Juvia Space I Am Magic concealer, and this is the shade number 5. I have to remind myself to use only a little bit of this concealer, because if I don't do that, it's going to take over my look. 80% out of the time I end up using too much and I have to like blend it down, but today I remembered and I used just the right amount, and it blended in beautifully. It balanced my skin beautifully, and it was so gorgeous. Look how nice it's blending in. The blending sponge I'm using is actually from Elf Cosmetics, and the first one I used was from ColouredRaine. So because I wanted just a slight kind of contour with this look, I used the Juvia Space I Am Magic concealer in the shade J1. And J1 gives me a slight contour, so that's why I use that on my face. It blends in very nicely, just like a concealer, and it moves really easily. And once again, I'm using the ColouredRaine sponge to blend this out. Just look how pretty the contour and the concealer like mesh together. They look so nice, right? It's so gorgeous. Gorgeous. Okay, so if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know I like Ben Nye powders because they have several different shades, several different undertones that you can pick from. From last time, whenever we tried the powders, Nutmeg was the best match to give us a highlighted look. So that's the one I'm using. I'm using Ben Nye Luxury Setting Powder in the shade Nutmeg to set my face. So after I set my face, I'm going in with Thrive Cosmetics eyeliner pencil. I don't know exactly what name it is, but I will find it and put it down below. But I use that to line my lower waterline and my upper waterline, and yeah, I touched my eyelids with that, so it kind of hurt a little bit. And then I'm going in with the same orange shade, and I'm just applying it dry on my lower eyelid because I don't want it to be too intense. That's why I did dry. But if you want it to be equally as intense as your upper eyeshadow, then you're just gonna have to put down a white eyeshadow base on your lower eyelid, and that will make the orange eyeshadow stand out really brightly. Then I go in and line my eyes with the NYX matte liquid eyeliner, and then I'm going in with my I'm laughing because I talked through the eyeliner part, and now I'm telling you what I did, and it's like just so like quickly, you know what I mean? So I'm wow, I'm using the blush from the Juvia's Place Saharan Blush Palette Volume 1, and I use that to go ahead and apply, you know, I use that as blush. I don't know how else to say it. I applied as blush. I blushed with that. I don't know. I just use it as blush, okay? And then I'm going into the Juvia's Place Chocolates palette. I know I didn't show it, but I'm using the Chocolates palette to contour my nose. And I was so serious about this nose contour. But as soon as I finished it, I went in and I used my sponge to soften everything up. Because if you're not careful, sometimes nose contours can look very, very harsh. And I didn't want that, okay? So then I went in with my Better Than Sex and Diamonds mascara, which I still don't believe. And then I went in with the Bonsu Beauty lashes, and this is the BB06 lashes. And my babies are all up in my video today. Say hi. So I have been using the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray Matte Setting Spray. You have to shake it before you use it, because if not, the powders come out in clumps and it falls in your face. Like that little white clump you see right above my lip was because of me not shaking it properly. But shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. And I'm just showing you guys that I use Fenty Brow MVP for my brows. And then I went into the Juvia's Place mini palettes, and this is, I want to say nudes. This is the nudes palette. I wanted a golden inner corner. So I used that shade I showed you, but it didn't come out as brightly as I wanted it to. But I had another idea, okay? So then I go into my chocolates palette and I use that eyeshadow shade as a highlighter. I like this because I feel like it highlights my face very nicely and it doesn't come out like looking too crazy. It doesn't like mark my face. I just like how it looks, okay? I have other highlighters that I use as well, but right now I'm stuck on this. So I'm just gonna use it until I cannot like bear to use it anymore. After I finished highlighting, I went and picked up my Magic palette. I think Magic palette is my favorite palette out of all of them. And it might be my favorite because of the gold in there. I do know that the Warrior one is also one of my favorites, but this is the kind of gold I wanted in my inner corner. So I went for that palette and I applied that gold. And let me tell you, that gold is intense. You see that, right? Like, tell me it's not intense. It is very, very intense. So then I go ahead and line my lips with my NYX eyeshadow, my NYX eye pencil in the shade dark brown. I know I said I'm looking for another deeper pencil and I have a few recommendations, so I'm gonna try them. But I'm still using my NYX until it like runs out. And then after I line my lips, I go in with the ColouredRaine Lippy in the shade Caramel. Caramel is a very pretty color. I do wish that it was a little bit thicker, like a one application type thing, but if you want it to show up and look very nicely, you need just 2 applications to get it, you know, looking all however you want it to look. But if you just want like a slight kind of contrast to your lip liner, then just 1 application will definitely do it, okay? So I went ahead, I applied that lip liner, that lipstick, and then I went back in and put the lip liner over it and got okay guys, so this is the finished look. Let me know down below in the comments what you think about the look. I think it's very simple. It's very, very achievable. The lip option is bomb as fun. The lip is actually ColouredRaine's Caramel on my lips. I've been loving this lip option a lot, okay? So I actually moved it away from my desk so I can be forced to try other lips, but I keep coming back to it, man. I love it. I love how it looks. And so yeah, that's it for my look today. Let me know down below in the comments if you liked it. Let me know if you're gonna try it. I know we're all stuck indoors, or at least we're stuck a few feet away from each other right now, but hang in there. We will get through this, okay? I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.
Rack it up, I got a bit of the bank to make me a safe house. Shake it up, she got her hands on her knees and she bringing the cake out. Smoke it up, I got some gas, some packs, I'm up in the greenhouse. Ball it up, I'm with the gang, we taking shots off the rebound. Fucking my posters, say now, I've been humble too long, yeah. Tell them all to stay calm,